because
Is Vindog Radio. What's up, Vindog?
Jess, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing well. I was hoping for a reverb effect on that part.
Booyah!
There we go. Vindog is in the house.
Hey, Vindog in the house, I want you to take a look at this video. This is pretty heinous. A 17-year-old kid at a high school savagely beat his teacher because his Nintendo Switch was taken away from him.
We call him Vindog. He's Vinny to me. And if you know, he was like one of the guys that was raised up with Rick Dees. And I don't know if you guys ever remember Rick Dees. This guy is a guy, my friend Vinny, who's been pretty persecuted. He's been pretty beat up in the world in which he lives, the secular radio DJ world. This guy was a big name on all the big radio stations, and people have always really loved him, but he's always been unapologetic about his faith. And I know him really well, and anytime the guy gives me any info about anything that's going on, I typically blindly trust it because he does a very good job at researching his info, kind of like Monkey is to me in many ways.
Further ado, let's bring on Vindog. Vinny, what's cracking, man?
Hey, what's up? It's Rick Dees in the morning. Don't forget to wake up with me right here. But right now, Vindog.
What's going on, brother? We got Captain America Vindog, man. This is great.
Ask Vindog to bring his DJ voice. He's an interviewer, and so that's what we're going to be doing today. So please welcome my good friend Vindog, and we're going to be taking questions at the end as we usually.
Actor, author, extraordinaire, the man. He does it all. My brother, Christopher Palaha. What's up, man?
What's up, big dog?
Breaking Barriers is all about my brother, Mr. Ryan Tillman. How you doing, man?
Big Vin Dog, what's going on, my brother? I am doing well. How you doing today?
Let the government be your daddy. You are self-governed.
Now here he is, a lover of God, America, and people. Captain America himself, Vindog Radio.
Oh, well. Welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. I think T-Rex Radio is a little bit late right now, but that's fine. That happens. But I tell you what, I am ready for the party. So are you guys ready? Because I know I am. Yes, Vin at 10 is live, and we are excited to be here. And so, yeah. T-Rex Radio is going to be in a few minutes. He's probably having issues with his computer. You know, technical difficulties exist in a crazy world that we live in. So, you know, before we get to T-Rex Radio and before he logs, we're going to talk about some things before he gets cooking, because I have some rapid fire stuff that I need to get to. And this is insane what's going on in the world today. I mean... Hey, wait a minute. It is March 6, 2023, and Josephina Robinette Biden is still the president of the United States of America. Sorry to disappoint you, but that's the way it is. And so listen to this one. Sally Field was presented with a Lifetime Achievement Award, and she went on like a crazy rage. Oh, wait a minute. Ladies and gentlemen, before we get into Sally Field, I have to tell you that we're going to bring in T-Rex Radio. I think he's here. Oh, there he is. T-Rex Radio is in the house, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, we are, man. What's going on with you, brother?
I was like, oh my gosh, I think he's having technical difficulties, and oh my gosh, we need to get him on. We need to get him on.
Yeah, well, we've had technical difficulties before, and sometimes it's just getting the mouth to work properly. But that's a technical difficulty.
Man,
And
yeah.
how are things?
Man, things are awesome, bro. I'm super blessed to
Good.
have you as a friend and a
Good.
brother.
Yes, and I feel the
things
same
are
way.
good.
It's a mutual admiration society right here. So there you go.
Yeah. So, man, things are good, right? Family good?
Yeah, everybody's doing good. Had dinner last night with the fam. Everybody checked in that they were doing okay. So it seemed like everything was all right. My son Jeremy, a real estate agent, he's a busy man, so we try to catch him when we can. And his lovely girlfriend Amy, who's like our daughter-in-law already, and really enjoy her company. She always brightens up a room, makes you smile every time she walks into a room. And we did Panda. We had Panda Express last night.
Oh, the panda.
The Panda. Yeah, so,
that's awesome, man.
Yeah, Panda's good. That orange chicken is addictive, and so be careful. And so easy dinner. Enjoyed just chatting, hanging out as a family, and that's always what it's all about.
Man,
So,
God
there
is
you go.
great when you can hang out with family, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Nothing better. Nothing better.
Yes. So, you know what? You've been paying some visits to some cool places, and I'm just gonna play a little blooper video of you doing some stuff.
Oh,
So, are you ready for this?
I am ready. I am ready.
You're like, what in the world did Vin Dog dig up now?
Yeah. So this should be fun. This should be fun.
This should be fun. Here we go.
Hey, it's Rex on the radio with our coffee of the day. Let me show. Oops, I spilled on this huge citrus roll. Can we eat the whole thing? That's what we're going to find out here at Winston's Napa. It was their 1-year anniversary. They invited us down, so we had to check out this citrus roll.
Ooh, that looks
Sure
good.
glad we didn't make a mess, though. We had the cinnamon mocha. It tasted so good, so good. And check out how big the citrus rolls are. You got to get one for yourself. It's Rex on the road, and don't forget the wine. Bay Grape was there, serving up wine, pouring the wine. It was a great time.
Wow.
Yeah, some good stuff there. That's our friends at Winston's Bakery, and we were there, about 9 months ago, and had a strawberry-filled donut where we were forking around with the donut, and that video did pretty well. And so we put it back up, and they sent us a message, hey, Rex, we're having our 1-year anniversary. You want to come and hang out?
As you walk in the door,
That's what
you
we
can
did.
smell the pastries baking at Grandma C's Kitchen in Colfax. That's the lemon rolls. You'll want to grab a couple of those. And these scones, oh my gosh, they are so good. Take a bite into this. You'll want more.
So many good things to choose from here at Grandma C's Kitchen in Colfax. Those are the bagel bombs. The bagel bombs are terrific. It's a bagel. It's an East Coast thing. You got to check it out. Grandma C's Kitchen in Colfax. It's Rex on the radio. Are you trying to make us hungry? Oh, it's our coffee of the day in downtown Napa. We're at Lee Perry, and you should see some of the pastries they have. We're gonna grab a cup of coffee and a pastry right here at Lee Perry in downtown Napa. It's Rex on the road. And a cappuccino.
Yum.
Very good. And then one of their most popular croissants. All right, so look at that. That is a croissant. There you go. Some
Dude.
fun things that we've done in like the last month. I think all those things are fairly recent.
All I have
And,
to say is wow, wow, wow,
Yeah.
wow, wow, wow.
You know, and I'm a guy that has a sweet tooth, and I go places where, you know, we're going to eat something sweet and tasty, and the coffees that these places make is phenomenal. It's an art form. I am completely convinced it is an art form watching these baristas do what they do. And it's just incredible. And we've been able to go to a lot of really cool places. We're getting ready to interview the CEO of Visit Napa Valley. Excited about that and find out about some of the events that are going on spring and summer. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay,
I am
good.
definitely ready.
And then we're going to go to what is it? The Craft Beer Summit, and talk to some breweries, some brewers, and it's like for the whole state of California. It's the Craft Beer Summit, and I would invite you along, Vin Dog. But I know you're a busy man. I would invite you along. This is going to be a fun time in Sacramento. When is that? That is the 21st, 22nd, something like that this month. And
wow, Rex, you have a lot going on, my friend. And let me tell you something. When you put the citrus roll and then you had the lemon roll at the other place, I'm like, dude, he knows I like those flavors and he's doing that on purpose.
Oh, I see. I didn't. What we do is when we go to these places, and I'll kind of give you a behind the scenes thing with some of the places that we go to. Some of the places we go to, it's the first time we've ever walked into the place, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so what I always look for is something that's a little different, a little interesting. You missed the coffee place that we have up today. It's something a little different too. And so we look for, maybe they have a drink that's different than any other drink that we've had before. So we look for that. And then we look for maybe a pastry or something at the coffee shops that's something that we haven't seen before. Like in a couple of weeks ago, we had a twice baked chocolate croissant in Napa, and that was fun. That was a good time. And then today we went to a coffee shop in Folsom, California. You know where Folsom is?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah, Mr. Johnny Cash. Yeah. And so we were in historic Folsom, and I walked by because we were doing some stuff at the farmers market. And I go, wow, that's a new coffee shop. It used to be a different coffee shop, and so we went in there, and I explained to him, hey, we do a coffee of the day thing, and we'd love to show off your coffee. Do you mind if we shoot a video of you making our coffee? And so as we talked, I said, we just want the drink that's going to look stunning on video. If it's a coffee drink, that's terrific. If it's something else, and so it ended up being Earl Grey tea, lavender latte. And so we don't do tea, so that worked out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we did tea, and then they had a lemon bar, a lemon oat bar. And
okay, stop right there. A lemon oat bar?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Are you okay? Are you all right? Are you hanging in with us?
Okay, let me have a swig of my breakfast tea here.
Sure. Well, hey, we're both drinking tea today. That's good. That's a good thing.
Yes, sir. Got to keep the vocal cords right.
I wouldn't know about that. I mean, I don't use my voice very much. I never have. Never have.
So yeah, continue about this lemon oat bar. I'm interested.
Yeah, so the lemon oat bar is terrific, and the coffee shop is right in historic Folsom on Sutter Street, and it looks great. And so as we're doing this, the manager's sitting right there, and she's kind of watching us. We get talking to her. Her name is Jelly, and so we drink this Earl Grey latte, and it looks so smooth as they make it. It tastes so smooth and sweet, and it has a nice contrast with the Earl Grey tea. And so that was something there that was different than what we normally do, which is just coffee, right? Just a coffee drink. And so fun times with Rex on the Road.
Man, Rex on the Road media is going everywhere up in Northern Cal. But
we're trying.
Yeah, we're trying to make it go nationwide. That's what we wrote. That's the goal.
Yeah. And as soon as that TV deal comes through, right? That TV deal.
Yeah.
I've decided you'll be the voiceover guy. Okay. So for Rex on the Road. No, we're just having fun. We're helping local business. In fact, your buddy, Mike Owen, my buddy, Mike Owen, Crystal Basin Cellars.
Yes.
Him and I just went, and this is a cool video. In fact, I got an email early from Mike this morning. He's in Colombia on vacation with a buddy. They're getting into all kinds of trouble. I just hope he makes it back.
No, he'll make it back.
You think he will? Okay. Well, I'm hoping, because this weekend he's got Oyster Fest, and we're going to be up there doing that. That's like the 5th year in a row I think we've done it. But Mike and I went to a ghost winery that he knew about that wasn't too far from his house. That was wine in the 1850s. And so this was totally cool if you're, a wine person or a history person or whatever, kind of a blending of the both. And, it's in El Dorado County. And you think, wow, back in 1850, it would have took a day probably by horse and buggy to get to Sacramento, right? It would have took a day, so they probably sold most of their wine up there in the foothills to their neighbors. And so they had the house is there. It's a historic landmark. So they had the house, they had the winery inside the house, and then they put a dance floor inside the house. So, these people were having a good time, right? They were making wine and everybody's coming over on the weekends. And then they had a underground cellar that Mike and I got to take a peek in. And, it was bricks from 1851. And so, the 1850s. So this was really cool to see. I'd never seen a ghost winery. Mike mentioned it. I said, no, I've never been to a ghost winery. And, Mike, he's a little wacky, but a lot of fun. Okay. So, that was one of Mike and Rex adventure. And that was fun too. So.
Yeah. Mike Owen is one of the nicest people, man. I got to tell you.
Well, Mike is another guy. And, we're so lucky to work with a lot of people that just every time we work with them, we can't figure out if we're working or we're just hanging out and having fun. And Mike and I have been working together, hanging out now for about 5 years. And in fact, I think he may have been the first winery that said, yeah, come on and do some video. And, I could tell at that time, Mike had some stuff up and I was like, this is a guy that's kind of wacky. This is a guy that, he might be interested in what we do. And Mike and I have been friends and worked together ever since with Rex on the Road. I think almost every month, we're at his winery or his tasting room in Folsom. So,
and I'm looking forward to him coming on as a sponsor really soon. He and his family decided they're going to do that. I'm like, dude, that's so awesome, man. And the way we're going to do it is going to be so cool. It's going to be beneficial not only to me and him and his family, but it's also going to be beneficial to the audience.
Well, Mike makes great wine too. I mean, Mike is a showman and everything, but his wine is some of my favorite of all the wineries we've been to. And, Mike, I think of Mike as the Colonel Tom Parker of wine. He's a guy that knows how to promote, knows how to put on a show, knows how to tell a story and make great wine. And he's very involved in the community and up in Apple Hill. And on Carson Road, where there's some other wineries. He's very involved in that community. The tasting room in Folsom, historic Folsom, he's very involved there. And he enjoys what he does. You can tell, I mean, you're not like going, oh, this guy he loves telling people stories about the wine. He loves laughing. He just loves life. And, wine's kind of his platform. Wine is where he's able to tell some stories, which make it
great. You know what? Talk a little bit about the Folsom area for everybody right now. I'm going to answer this call real fast.
Okay, sure. Yeah, Folsom, California, just outside Sacramento. Kind of famous for Folsom Prison, which Johnny Cash performed at, back in the 60s, right? Was it? Yeah, I think so. The late 60s, maybe like 68. And Folsom is a growing community. We're working with Visit Folsom quite a bit. And that's fun. We're going to be working with them on a wine event. And then you have historic Folsom, which is a historic district with shops, restaurants, places to eat and drink. There's also one of our companies we work with. There's an axe throwing place there called the Smart Axe. We were just there. What was it? Friday night. We were there, trying to keep track of where we go with Rex on the Road. That's we go so many places, but it's a growing, thriving community. There's a lot of community events in the summer. They put on concerts on a concert stage that's nestled right there in historic Folsom. Plus a lot of history in Northern California and Folsom. So it's a fun place to take the whole family. If you're taking a trip to Sacramento, don't miss out on Folsom. Visit Folsom is a great place to get information. You can see them on the web, on Facebook, on social media. Visit Folsom, and they've got a Foothill Wine Festival coming up later this year that we will be working with them on that with Foothill Wineries. But Folsom has a lot to offer. It really does. Just don't tell Vindog, okay? Because I don't think Vindog. I don't think you'd have very much fun there. I just don't think you'd like it. Oh, hi, Vindog. It's good. I'm glad you're back.
No, that's awesome. No,
Yeah.
I just had to make sure it was somebody
Yeah.
complaining about our show being too awesome right now. So
Oh, really? We're going the awesome angle. Okay, I've gotten
Yeah.
fired. I've gotten fired for that before. You're
Yeah.
just a little too awesome for us. And, so I'd like to thank Intercom. I'd like to thank Cumulus, and thank you so much, guys. It was a
Yeah,
pleasure.
absolutely.
It was a pleasure to be too awesome for.
yeah, that's funny. That's so funny. No, but man, you guys have been doing some exciting things over there, man, and it's really cool. Uh-oh, did I lose you? Uh-oh. I think I lost Rex because I was gonna say something to him. Let's see. Let's try this. And then let's try this. Rex? I think you froze. Yeah, that's really cool that Rex is doing a lot of stuff over there in Northern California. He's a true uh essence of representing small businesses in America. And he's just the nicest guy ever. Don't tell him I said that. But he's gonna log back in right now, folks. We're gonna go to some crazy videos in a few seconds here. But I just want to stop down and tell you guys that we highlight a lot of stuff secular, but it is beneficial to conservatives and great people, period. We don't do anything that is out of the ordinary around here. We do base our stuff on Christian values on the show. We are conservative, which is cool. The cool thing is the reason why I have people like Rex on is because he's doing like a terrific thing representing small businesses. And most of the time, folks like Rex and myself, we come out of pocket to do these things. We don't ask people for anything. We just want to do it because we really appreciate the real backbone of America. And the real backbone of America is the small business. And we love it because it helps out the local communities. Small business is very important. And please do visit small businesses that are still around. Unfortunately, a lot are not around in huge cities because of things that happen within the government. And you know what I'm talking about there, folks. So it's crazy to just, wow, think about all the things that have happened to small businesses in America and worldwide, because the small business is the backbone. Just like Jesus Christ is the backbone of my life. I mean, without Jesus, I wouldn't have a backbone. I wouldn't even have a spine if I didn't have him. So, just, man, let's all get together and take care of each other. That's basically what it is at the end of the day. Support local businesses, support your local school boards, and start speaking up for the children. Support your local churches that are edifying to the word of God. All right. This is just an interesting show, and we're gonna get Rex back right now. This is kind of cool. We got him back. Yes, we got Rex back. We got him back. Woo-hoo!
I'm back. Yeah, sorry about that, but technical glitches. We were just too awesome, and so I had to be shut down for a minute or two there. But we are back, and I don't even remember what we were talking about. But hey, it's a pleasure to be back.
Yes, it is a pleasure to be back. Have you back. Now, I was just telling everybody the reason why, that we got cut off because the enemy, aka Satan, doesn't want us edifying the good things about America, which is small business.
Yeah. The thing, and I've said this to a few people, you think about small business, right? And you think about America. And I mean, if I was to say one thing that defines America, it's small business.
Yes.
It's you deciding that you're going to start your own business and that you have that ability and you're allowed to kind of whatever your dreams are, whatever you want to do. Look at the businesses, small businesses today. Look at the creator economy. Anybody can decide they want to get on YouTube and do whatever they want to do. And if they can make money with it, then that's terrific. And there's a lot of opportunity for that. So, I mean,
Mhm.
Rex on the Road, years ago, we were radio guys that, we had to work for a radio station basically to do a show, right?
Yeah.
And to get a paycheck. But now we can have our own shows that don't have that affiliation by, social media, by YouTube, by whatever platforms you want to get on and kind of air your voice.
Mhm. And
Yeah.
and another thing too is that you don't have to worry about someone breathing down your neck because you're conservative or God-fearing person, period. And that's the best part, You're running your
Well,
own company.
well, I think everybody should have the right, as long as they're not hurting somebody else in the process, they should
Mhm.
have the right to, if that's what they're interested in, that's what they want to do, and
Mhm.
take that risk. I mean, being a business owner is a huge risk. I mean,
Yeah.
I remember when we started doing what we're doing now 5 years ago, and I was like, is this something that's going to last? Is this something, we're just going to do for a little bit and then we'll go, back to work for somebody else or whatever. But now 5 years we've been doing it and it's growing bigger and bigger and bigger. And we're able to work with bigger and bigger organizations as well as still working with small businesses is really where our niche is. And we really want to be able to help those small businesses with video content that increases their business, increases customers finding them. And, so that's what it's all about for us. That's kind of where our passion is helping other small business owners who may not have the time to do video, social media, do some content that's going to, pique folks' interest about whatever their business is. Most of our stuff is food and drink. So it's restaurant, wineries, distilleries, breweries, that sort of thing. But we also right now work with a cell phone accessory store that we've worked with off and on in the last few years. And they get a huge result from some of the videos that we put up, letting people know that, hey, don't buy a phone case at the phone store, come to them and you can save some money on that next phone case or a phone charger or whatever you're needing for your phone.
Yeah,
So
what I want to bring up too, Rex, and how you are really supporting small businesses. And I was telling the audience that you're like majority, like 90% of the time that you are coming out of pocket supporting small businesses.
Right.
And a lot of people don't understand that, but because that's why I want people to support Rex on the Road Media.
Yeah, can I give a couple examples? We've had some recent examples pointed out to us, and I'm not trying to brag. I'm not trying to say this will happen to you. I'm just comparing what's happened with some folks that we've worked with. We worked with a Black-owned restaurant in the Bay Area. The guy's an incredible chef. We did video with them in Petaluma, California. A month later, the San Francisco Chronicle chooses them as one of the top 25 restaurants. I'm not saying he wouldn't have got that attention, but I think that the videos, then we were in Sonoma County shortly after that for a pizza place, award-winning pizza chef. And a month later, she got on the national TV show for Hulu, Best in Dough. And then it was pointed out to me a wine bar that we're going to work with again. They just moved their location to another town a few miles away. When we did videos for them the first time, she said after they did videos for us, the biggest TV show in Sacramento, morning TV show, showed up and did video on them. And they told her that it was because they saw the videos that we did.
Dude, that's awesome. And the reason why I bring this up, because when I was playing sports in high school, do you know who donated athletic wear for me to succeed or excel in what I was doing? It was a small business owner. So that just tells you small businesses are the catalyst of communities, big time. I think Rex froze again. Oh man, that's crazy. I don't know what's happening over there, but Rex seems to be like freezing all the time over there. It's funny. But so small businesses have supported big time. I mean, look, I mean, when I was in high school, a small business donated athletic socks to me, okay? A small business made sure that I had a Letterman jacket. A small business made sure that I was able to excel. Small business owners, okay? And so when small business in America, it does mix. I'll tell you that right now. It matters in America to have a small business. small businesses are mostly owned by families, of course. I mean, you can't get personable with a corporation, say, for instance, like Wally World or Home Depot or Lowe's, but you could go to your local True Value or whatever your local hardware store name is, and you get this hands-on stuff, and you talk to people that are actually local, and they know exactly what you need. That's amazing to me. That is heartfelt. And I really appreciate things like that because, it may cost a little bit more out of our wallets, but I'll tell you this much. I love supporting these small businesses in our communities. It is an absolute blessing to do that. Oh, man. So we're going to try and get Rex on, but I'm just so ecstatic when it comes to talking about hometown heroes, when it comes to talking about worshiping God, when it comes to standing up against all of the evilness that is trying to destroy communities. And you guys know what I'm talking about. There's a lot of evilness out there that just can't stand the simple fact that people want to stand together, that we're not going to fall for the banana in the tailpipe trick, when it comes to pitting everyone against one another. It's just not going to happen. But I want to play this video for you right now. This is by Gidget. You guys, Sally Field. So listen to what she says as she receives her Lifetime Achievement Award that is going to collect more dust on her cases. Listen to this.
But honestly, I was a little white girl with a pug nose, born in Pasadena, California. And when I look around this room tonight, I know my fight, as hard as it was lightweight compared to some of yours. I thank you and I applaud you. And I know that for you, just like for me, it has not been easy. But you know what? Easy is overrated.
Oh my goodness. That's what I have to say about that, Miss Sally Field. What was that all about? Okay, enough of that. That's what happens when, you go lunatic on it. But no, it's sad that that these people are just off their rails, off their rocker. I think Rex is not coming back on yet. I think it lost him, so that's okay. So, in the comment section, I'm looking at it, in this wonderful young lady saying that they stopped supporting of 99% of these big businesses, which is good. This is awesome. Thank you, Vanessa, for doing that. I wish a lot of people would do that. I mean, it's awful that the big brick and mortars are have done the biggest takeover ever. And like e-commerce websites like Amazon and all that other stuff. Oh, okay, we got Rex back. I think he's back in the house. Rex, let's see.
Yeah, I don't,
T-Rex Radio.
I don't know what's going on. I don't know. Get the engineer on the phone. Get him on the phone right now. We've got problems.
Yeah. Let me call Brian Clark and see what he can do about this.
This is ridiculous. I mean, come on.
So I'm reading in the chat on YouTube. This young lady is saying that they like to support small businesses. They stop supporting like 99% of the huge businesses, which is awesome. Yeah. And that's great, because you know what? We need to keep the money in the communities, right? Because these, like I said, the big brick and mortar people, they're not personable.
Well, they're not going to sponsor your little league team.
Yeah, they're not going to sponsor.
They're not going to make sure the 4th of July parade per se is supported by Walmart. No, probably not. right? I mean, but yet the local hardware store is going to support those things and keep the community thriving. And
Yeah.
you know, that's the way it goes.
It was like I was saying. It was like I was saying earlier. The small businesses are the ones that supported my athletics when I was in high school.
Yeah.
I mean, I got the clothing from them. They gave me,
Right.
you know, my wrestling shoes.
There you go.
My
Yeah.
Letterman jacket was sponsored by them.
Right.
You know,
Yeah. Our youth soccer league when I was growing up in Chico, was supported by local small businesses. It all comes from small local businesses. I think of small local businesses as the background of America. It's really the background. They're the ones that hire your kids, and they get that first job experience. They're the ones that support the athletics in the community. They're the ones that support the community coming together. They're also involved in the Chamber of Commerce, but they're the thing that's working to make your community better and supporting those things of where would those dollars come from if you don't have small business?
That's right.
Where does that money come from? Because big corporations aren't going to support each little town that they have a location in, right? I mean,
No.
I don't think so. I don't think that's going to happen.
No, the shareholders would be very upset if they did.
Well, they're looking at laying off employees so they can keep the stock high, right? They're looking at, it's the small business person, the local grocery store, the local hardware store, the local gas station or whatever. And that's what makes us a community, I think, is really the small business in any community in America. Think about it. Did you grow up in a small town? If you grew up in a small town, you can probably think and look back to the local businesses that were around that help support the community.
Mm-hmm. Even in big cities, the small businesses were the catalyst.
Well, still, yeah. It just, to me, it seems like sometimes we think of small business being really, really. If you live in a smaller town, they're even bigger. They're a bigger thing for that community than a big city having a small business. Not that it's not as important, but in a small community, those are the people that you see every day, right? If you grew up in a small town or a smaller town. So I mean, they're what makes the community thrive, in my opinion, and it's an equal relationship. You shop there, and they support the community, and so it's a nice give and take from the consumer to the business, and the business giving back to the community or being involved in the community, hopefully.
Mm-hmm. Now, Rex, I know that you have a great family ancestral history.
That's what I've been told. That's what I've been told. Yeah.
Now, I just want you to give people just 1 to 2 to 3 minutes, however long it takes, on why it is so great to be a part of one of the greatest creations ever created by man, called the United States of America.
Well, I in my opinion about the United States of America, and my family goes back to Native American heritage, and then on the other side of my family, we're descendants of Daniel Boone, and then on the other side of my family, we have some immigrants. My grandpa was the son of a Swedish immigrant. He became a carpenter after serving in World War II. My great-great-grandfather in Northern California had the biggest pack train in California. In fact, I just saw an article written about a place called Coffee Creek because he had a pack train of meals that he brought supplies to folks, and coffee fell off his pack train, and that's how it became Coffee Creek. There's also McNeil Creek up in that area of Northern California above Redding, a big flat, and that area. So to me, it's America opens up the possibility to dreams. America opens up the possibility. If you can dream it, you can do it. If you want to put in the work, you can do it. You can accomplish it. I'm not sure it's that way in every other country, but I think in America, we kind of have the right to choose the life we want to choose, right? I mean, politically now we're so divided, but when you get down to the bare roots of America, it's small business, it's having a dream and deciding that you're going to put in the elbow grease to make it happen. And not everywhere does that happen. We have the freedom of choice in this country. Now, does that mean everything's equal to everybody? No, it doesn't. But I think we're closer to being equal than any other country in the world. And to me, that's what makes America great. I look back at the history of my family and go, wow, they really achieved some things. They really, I think back to the pioneers in Daniel Boone's time. during the American Revolutionary War, of deciding you're going to build a life in Kentucky, or deciding you're going to build a life in California. And think about the Donner Party coming across Donner Pass up by Lake Tahoe. Unfortunately, that didn't go so well. But they left Missouri to come to California, to come to the West, to begin a new life, to go after something better. And I really think that's what America is all about. We're always looking for something a little better. So I think that's what it is. I think that's what it is for everybody. Everybody has that opportunity.
Absolutely, 100%.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, there are folks out there that are just saying horrific things.
Right.
But you know what? You have to take the bad along with the good. And you know what? Nothing is ever going to be done perfectly. We have
Right,
to
right.
we have to understand that.
Right. And I mean, we can get into the battle of slavery, but slavery didn't just start happening in America. It was something that from the beginning of human time, right? Does that mean America handled it right, or what have you? No, it doesn't. But we keep trying to solve that problem and to deal with our history involving slavery. It's kind of a dual personality thing with the America, with the history of the United States, is that slavery was something that happened. It was something that people made money off of, plantation owners and such, right? But yet, we made a decision as a country, or at least part of the country did, that, we wanted to abolish slavery, right? We wanted to try to give equal rights to everybody. And
As a matter of fact, America was the very first country to abolish slavery.
Right. I heard that the other day, which I always thought that that was the history. The thing is I think sometimes we try to act like America invented slavery, right? That we were the only ones. Like somehow we came up with this great way to enslave people for profit. We can't take the morals of our time and put them on something that happened 200 years ago, right? I mean,
right.
The world was a different place. Unfortunately, slavery was commonplace. That's unfortunate, right? I mean, that people were being used as slave labor, being auctioned off, separated from their families, not being able to make a choice about their life, but being trapped in an economic system that didn't benefit them or their family, but made other people rich. To me, it's, and I mean, obviously we can talk about a lot of different nationalities. Look what happened to the Chinese in California around the gold rush and building the railroad, the Irish.
Indeed.
Yeah. Look what happened to the Native Americans. Look what happened to other people that didn't have, an economic say in their own lives. They worked for a company and they were in debt to the company store, and they had to keep working for that company because they owed the company so much. Right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's a lot of ways that people were enslaved, and there's a lot of different races that were enslaved, right? I mean,
yes. It wasn't just one group of people.
I know we always want to look and say, hey, it was just these folks, but it wasn't. It was, things were hard then. It was hard to make a living. It was hard. Yes, you had the ability to maybe get out of your economic situation, but we're talking an agricultural society, which is different than the society we have today, which is very urban. And in a sense, I think we don't really understand the whole picture because we can't, because we grew up in a different time. I mean, we can try to understand it. We can try to figure it out, but it's really hard to put our morals on that situation. And just like it would be hard for them to put their morals on how we're living. Right.
Yeah.
And so, I think it's sad whenever people are enslaved. That's not right. So
indeed. But you know what? I still pay homage to all of those folks, to every single individual that stepped onto the land, and even the native people here too. I pay homage to everyone because everyone had a hand in trying to make it better for us.
Well, that's, the thing is, I always look to my ancestors in my family and go, if it wouldn't have been for them taking a chance, then I wouldn't have been able to enjoy the life that I've been able to enjoy, in California or anywhere in the U.S. Because of the struggles and the strife and let's just look at Daniel Boone. I mean, I think he lost like one or two of his children in to warring situations and warring territory. People lost their lives trying to make a what they thought at the time a better way, or to settle in a new land, right? A new territory. And so I mean, things weren't easy. I mean, I also have I think some family relatives that came over on the Mayflower. How bad did things have to be in England for you to go, I don't know what's over there, but I'm going to hop on this boat. It's going to take 3 months, 6 months, whatever. I don't even know if I'm going to live or if I'm going to get sick and die on the way there.
Right.
But I'm willing to take that chance. I'm rolling the dice and I'm not looking back.
Think of the Oregon. They did.
Yeah, and think of the Oregon Trail. I lived right on the Oregon Trail in Baker, Oregon for a time. And the Oregon Trail ran right through Baker, Oregon. Baker, Oregon is the eastern side of Oregon. And in fact, Eastern Oregon is trying to succeed from Oregon to be part of Idaho. Have you heard this?
Yes, as a matter of fact, I'm going to be interviewing one of the congressmen that drafted that, and it looks like it's going to pass.
It's looking like it. And in fact, I started my first radio on-air job in Weiser, Idaho. Okay. In Weiser, Idaho. And Weiser is right on the border of Eastern Oregon. It's just barely Idaho. You're about 50 miles from Boise. And I went to college for a little bit there in Eastern Oregon, Treasure Valley College. And,
wow.
Yeah. I went there for like a quarter, maybe a couple quarters, and then I came back to California. But the point being is that part of Oregon is way more like Idaho than it is like how Oregon has kind of become a little different political animal than it was years ago. And I have family history in Oregon. My great-grandparents had a ranch in Grants Pass in Medford, Oregon. Yeah, in Medford, Oregon. My family still has the rights, and we're the only people that do have the rights to have a pack train on the Rogue River.
Some history.
And so I have some history in that area. We used to go up there every summer and visit my great-grandparents. And not only was my great-grandparents still alive, my great-great-grandfather was still alive. He lived to be 95. And so, I mean, there's some family history there. But that part of Oregon is definitely more like Idaho than it is like, say, Portland, right? Portland, Oregon.
Yeah.
So.
Man, that's really cool. I sent you something, and you might have to check it out in a little bit, but
okay.
It's a part of American history.
Okay, I will read it. I'm a history bug. You know that.
And you know what? And it just shows you the insanity of society, because this lady had a fit, and she was like one of the leading people that was super leading the charge of racism. She's a college professor.
Oh, good.
And I sent it to your phone right now. You are gonna so laugh at this.
Well,
because you just have to read it before you say anything.
Okay. Well, what I'm gonna say here is we see these stories, all the time, pretty frequently. And the thing that gets me is these people that are talking about things as a supposed expert don't even have just basic knowledge of the situation in its entirety, right? I mean, it's one thing if you have some knowledge about it and you want to speak on it and you have different political views, that's fine. But to me, when you don't even understand the story and then you're trying to say what's wrong with it, and I don't know, I just think things are real messed up when it comes to
bro
situation.
When you see that, you're like, yep, figures.
Well, I mean, college is different than when I went to college now, from everything I'm reading and stuff. I mean, I remember getting in arguments with professors and getting in trouble because I disagreed with what they had to say. And
but the thing is, this lady was so militant, and she like preached so much hate.
Right. Yeah. That's what I don't get is
Hey,
Yeah.
but hold on,
Okay.
Rex. I just want you to see that in your text message because that is hilarious.
Well, I mean, that's
And she was furious when she found
Mhm.
out that her ancestry
Uh-oh.
dated back
Oh, boy.
to her relation to a slave owner.
Well, see,
And hold on,
yeah, yeah.
her family members were on the Mayflower.
Well, I hope we're not related. To that particular lady, I hope we're not related. But
But you see, but like you said, the ignorance of society just keeps on
well,
growing.
to me it seems to be one side. They want to say what they want to say. They want you to think whatever they're thinking, but they don't want any fact. They don't
Mhm,
have any facts to back up what they're saying and why it should be that way.
mhm,
And I really think we all live in glass houses. We better be careful of what we talk about because we can probably trace our family
mhm.
tree. There was probably somebody in our family that owned slaves. No, I'm not, but there's probably one side of my
Yeah, but you
family
know what?
probably did, you
Hey,
know? I'm not
hey,
saying that it's
who
right,
knows?
you know?
No, but see, the thing of it is it's like the pot calling the kettle
Mhm.
black when it's like, wait a minute
Right.
here. Do you realize what you're
Well,
saying? You know, because that's why it's better to just like not to even speak about it if you really don't know what you're gonna talk about because
well, well,
your family tree might trace back to that.
hey,
And that just goes to prove biblically that we're all cousins of Noah.
everybody's related one way or another, whether they want to be or not.
Yeah.
Well, I
Yeah.
think my thing is this, is we all live in glass houses, all right? Um,
Yes.
folks owning slaves, back in those days, let's say, I don't know, 1700s, 1800s, whatever, time period you wanna pick in that area, uh, that owning slaves was like the way we own a computer or a phone.
It serves
Well,
us.
it serves us, but I mean, it was common nature. That was part of the times. The only way you didn't
Did you know that the first slave owner in America was black?
Yeah, yeah, I mean, I mean,
Anthony
yeah,
Johnson. Look it
yeah.
up,
My
folks.
grandmother's family was white, and they were picking cotton, and they left
Exactly, Rex.
Oklahoma,
Exactly.
and my
Exactly.
grandma's part Choctaw, which I know the Vendog here is part.
I think we might be
Yeah, I think
cousins.
we're related. I'm pretty sure we're related. I I'm pretty sure there's some things that match up, and, yeah, go
Yeah.
tell your mom I said hi.
Yeah. It's all adding up, brother. It's
um,
all adding
but
up.
the thing is I think the thing that most of us don't see, and I'm not even sure that we understand it, is we don't understand what they were going through just to survive. To
Mhm.
survive.
Yeah.
Why do you think people had such big families in those days? There was a reason. Because they needed somebody to work the farm, right? So they could get the
Yeah.
crops to market, so they would have money, and then that's if the weather wasn't bad. And that's if there
Yeah.
wasn't some bug eating their crops, and that's if, the cows didn't come down with some virus. And, my grandfather was a cattleman, and I remember talking to him one year. He raised, Beefmaster cattle,
Oh, wow.
award-winning cattle, and I remember talking to him one year, and he goes, "Yeah, I just lost $35,000." And I said, "What happened? Well, how did you lose that?" "The stock market and the cattle prices when I take it to market."
Mhm.
Right?
Yes,
So,
sir.
6 months ago, he could have sold that cattle and made 35,000 more dollars. And but the time that he was selling it at market, he lost $35,000 before he even took the cattle to market.
Wow, that's amazing. That
Yeah,
is
and
absolutely
and
amazing.
he would have those years, as anybody in that industry would. And so,
Mhm.
it's the thing is, I don't think we can clearly this is what frustrates me is we can't clearly understand the time period, the rules of society, how
Mhm.
society operated at that time. We can't, right?
No.
We didn't live in the 1700s. We didn't live in the 1800s. We weren't in the Civil War. Um, we can try to learn about it. We can try to understand it as best as our minds can get wrapped around that kind of historical facts. But it's like taking Babe Ruth and saying he's equal in baseball to Shohei Ohtani, right?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, the game was different. The rules
Totally.
were different. You know?
Totally. Yes. Yeah.
know?
Absolutely. You know what, Rex? This pastor sums it up really well. Watch.
Matter.
Okay.
So all of you jokers who thought politics doesn't matter, I hope you're changing your mind, because it matters from war and famine and decadence and what we're leaving for our children and our grandchildren. Don't drink the Kool-Aid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I saw that, I think, a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't
yeah.
drink the Kool-Aid.
Well, you know, here's my philosophy is everybody wants to follow a crowd because it's easy to follow a crowd, right?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
don't have to have your own thoughts. You don't have to think about it yourself. You go,
Oh,
hey,
no, don't say
everybody
that
else-
out loud.
Yeah, everybody's heading down the road. I'll just head down the road with them. And my thing has always been is try to be, you know, an individual thinker. Try to gather evidence, facts. It used to be you could read the news and kind of read 2 or 3 sources and kind of go, okay, this is kind of the story, right?
Mhm.
This is the right side, the left side, the in between side, the outside. Now you can't. There's no news media that I know that doesn't have some bias. And so, I mean, you try to read both sides, but
Yeah.
they're so biased and so extreme on both sides that you still can't figure out what's really going on there.
Yeah. And it was cool because basically what he was saying, hey, you know what? Start thinking for yourself.
Right. Right. Yeah, I've never understood people who, and years ago, it used to be the thing that would frustrate me a little bit was there was a conservative host and I would be having dinner with people, right? And I would hear him parrot this host, right? It wasn't a thought that they had, it was what that person had said on the radio.
Mhm.
And that bothered me in the sense of,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't have a problem with if you have the same opinion as this particular radio show host. I don't have a problem, but have some facts to back up why you think the way you think. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And
Yeah,
basically,
I don't have a problem with if you want to go down that road, that's your business. But don't make it that you're just taking what somebody else's words and trying to make it like they're your own.
Exactly. And basically, what that conservative host was really trying to get people to do is have some type of train of thought. Don't just go on because I said it.
Yeah, but people followed that guy. I mean, they just followed him blindly. You know, I mean, and I'm not saying he wasn't a good talk show host and very persuasive. I met him personally one time, and he seemed like a nice enough guy. Hung out
I
with him
think,
for a couple
I
months.
think it was very phenomenal. And it's too bad, like certain, hey, everyone's flawed as a human. And basically,
Right.
he was saying, hey, have your own train of thought, basically.
Right.
He would even tell people that. But they
Oh,
just
I know, but the thing is, he was such a powerful communicator that people just bought that lock, stock, and barrel, and said, you know, hey, ditto, you know, to use one of his old terms, and you know, to me, it's like, especially in this day and age, I don't see how you can take one media source and go, okay, I'm standing by that. I'm standing.
Yeah.
by,
You know what? I don't stick to any of the sources. I stick to God. That's who I stick to.
Yeah, I think these are times that we definitely have to, or should,
Mhm.
you know, be sticking to God and, you know, and trying to do what's right as human beings, you know, and
Exactly.
and
Exactly.
treat other people with respect, whether you agree with them or not, you know,
Mhm.
and all of us probably are weak in that area, right? We're all, you know, maybe a little fallible,
Yeah.
you know, is because we like people that think like we do, all of us, you know.
Yeah. You know what? And even if I disagree with someone, it doesn't mean I'm going to love them any less.
Yeah, I've always tried to,
Right.
as long as we can have a sensible conversation. If somebody starts screaming at me, you know, I'm gonna hang up. I'm gonna hang up the phone. I mean, you know, and you know, you have the right to have whatever view of the world you want to have.
So Rex, so basically when people are screaming
Right.
at you on the phone, right?
Well, yeah, or in person or whatever. I just said phone, but yeah.
Is this what happens when they start screaming at you and this is all you hear? You ready?
Yes, I agree completely. Yes, that's exactly what I hear. That is exactly it right there. You hit the target on that one, my friend. I I,
Oh,
I just
man.
think we can all be more open to listening to people and trying to have a conversation. That's the only way we're going to cure what ails this country is by actually communicating with each other again.
Yeah, because I'm telling you right now, the way things are headed, it is just like a dark path
Well,
that we don't really want to
how
go
do we
down.
come back from this? I mean, how do we come back? Everybody is so divided over the simplest things. I mean, now
Mhm.
we're unmaking laws that we decided society would live by for the past 50, 60, 70 years. And we're saying, you don't need to pay attention to the traffic light. Just go whenever you want. Okay, just go whenever you want. Doesn't matter, green, yellow, red. Who cares? Just do your own thing.
Mhm.
Well, society operated by those laws to protect us all, right? I mean, look at the
Yeah.
speed limit. It used to be 65. Now it's 75. Now people are going 95 or 100. So it tells you
Mm.
that man is not responsible enough in his own regard to do the right thing, that we need laws to dictate our behavior. That, that people
You
yeah,
said it.
that people don't do the right thing. You know? It just
Yeah.
amazes me.
I think the huge problem is that man leans on too much of its own
Oh,
understanding.
definitely. Yeah, yeah. I mean, we're our
Mhm.
own problem. We're in our own way. I mean, it's you know, it just amazes me. Go to a grocery store these days, okay? And
Mhm.
here's the situation in the grocery store. So you're going down the aisle with a shopping cart if you go to the grocery store. And I will be in the grocery store picking up groceries. My wife works in a grocery store, so I don't, I sometimes do the grocery shopping just because she doesn't want to go to a grocery store after being at one all day. And
Mhm.
I'll go to any grocery store, be in there for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and get almost ran over by 3 to 5 people in their shopping cart.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
sometimes they
yeah.
don't even say, "Hey, excuse me. Hey, I'm sorry," whatever. And it's like you're in their way. And it's like, I try not to run anybody over. I try not to. I try to, be nice about it when maybe you didn't see them around the corner or something. But it just amazes me. In
Mhm.
human behavior, stuff like this has gotten worse and worse and worse over the last 5 years, 5, 10 years. It
Man, it's really
it
sad
really is.
actually.
I mean, it says something about us as a society. I'm not sure it says anything good, but it does say something about us as a society, and that it's kind of all about me, right? And you're in my way. You're in my way because I got to hurry up.
Mm.
My schedule is more important than your schedule. And instead
Yeah.
of, you know, taking some time and
So basically we're living in a Rob Reiner world.
apparently, apparently, apparently we are.
He really is. He really is a
Yeah.
meathead.
Yeah.
Um
He is. He is.
Yeah, and that's sad because self-loathing is just horrible. And I thank God that I'm not that
Right.
way.
Yeah.
I
Well,
mean,
the other thing,
and we tend, and you know what? And the influences of society will try to make you go that direction, and you really don't want to lean
right,
that
right.
direction because it could be a horrific ending, and I don't want to be a part of
Well, the thing I also notice is I walk about 3 to 5 miles a day just to, make sure, you're staying healthy. And it
it.
used to be
Mhm,
you would walk, wherever you live or whatever, you'd say hi to people or good morning or whatever, and they would say good morning back
mhm.
or hello or, how how you doing? Have a nice day, whatever. And now people avoid any human contact. They just, look away. They act like you're not even there. I mean, it's just the weirdest thing to me. And it's like, I mean, hey, can't we all?
Do they give you the weird looks?
Oh, all the time, all the time.
When you say good morning, they're like,
Well,
"What?
some and some have their eyes on their phone so much I don't even know if they realize that they're walking or if somebody just walked by them. I mean, we all do that from time to time, of course, just the way things are. But it just amazes me, and I think part of the reason that is society before our friend COVID-19, society was becoming more and more alienated. People were into their computers, into their phone, and then you put masks on people, right? You put a mask on, And then, people, I think some people that to them was, I think some people are wearing it not because they're afraid they're going to get sick. It's a way to not have to deal with people. It's a way to not have to have a conversation with the person you just walked by, or even a greeting, or even eye contact. My thing is, hey, if you can make somebody smile and, hey, good morning, how are you? It's sure a nice day today. Wow, the sun is out. This is a great day. I'm not looking to like have a long-term conversation with you, but hey, a nice greeting. We can smile, and you can walk your dog, and I'll continue on my walk. But hey, at least we can greet each other as human beings, right? At least we can.
Exactly. And if it does turn into a great conversation,
Exactly.
awesome.
Terrific. Like, I was in Sam's Club yesterday with my wife, and I'm a huge Giants fan. You know that. I'm a huge baseball fan. And so I walked over to look at the Giants caps they had there just to see them. And there was this couple there. And we started talking about the price of beer at a Giants game, right? It's $16. They've lowered it this year to $9. And just, anytime you go out, how expensive it is to get a drink or go out to dinner, just the price shock. And I said, yeah, it's ridiculous. At a Giants game, you're paying $16 a beer. Now I guess it's going to be $9 finally.
Yeah, imagine the price of the seats.
Yeah,
though, when you have to
exactly.
sit there.
And it's like, I mean, you want to have a beer. You don't want to have to get another mortgage on your home to get a beer. Right? I mean, and so, it was a nice conversation. They were nice people. And I said, hey, and they said, yeah, the Giants are going to win this year because I got this new hat. And it was just nice middle American type people, and had a nice conversation. And my wife comes over and realizes I'm talking to these two people, and then my wife, we chip in. It's like, oh yeah, have a nice day. And to me, that kind of stuff can brighten your day. Just one conversation and realize that there are people out there that are just like us. There are people out there that are just normal Americans that enjoy baseball or whatever, or looking forward to spring, looking forward to the nice weather, and you have a nice little exchange. And they go on their day, you go on yours, but it leaves you with a positive feeling about people.
Absolutely, 100%. And you just said the perfect thing to end the show on that note. Ladies and gentlemen, and you can find Rex on the Road everywhere.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Yeah.
You can hashtag Rex on the Road or T-Rex Radio. You'll find him.
Or Rex on the Radio is a good hashtag because we use that in everything for sure.
Yeah.
And Rex on the Road Media on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. It's T-Rex Radio, and all kinds of fun.
And you even have a YouTube channel also.
Yeah,
so
Rex on the Radio,
cool.
McNeil, I think it is. But like I said, if you hashtag Rex on the Radio, you'll probably stumble upon.
You'll run into it. You'll swerve into
it. Exactly. So, always a pleasure, Vindog, being on your show. You do such a great job. I'm a fan and a friend, and it's always nice to be on your show. I don't know. I guess we do this about once a month or something, and just kind of hang out with you.
It's awesome.
And
it's awesome.
just always a great time. And thank you so much for showing some of our videos. And we just try to have fun. I call it infotainment. We're trying to entertain people. And I think food and drink is a good way to go about that. Everybody loves to eat and drink one way or another. And so we try to have some fun with that. We started the coffee everyday thing videos. People seem to like those, and showing different coffee shops and kind of what they're doing with coffee.
And on that note, folks, God bless you. God bless America. And you know what? Most of all, God bless humanity. Amen. That is what it's all about at the end of the day. And so, ladies and gentlemen, do me a favor. Just pray for one another. Pray for those that are lost to be found, because I'm telling you, we all need Jesus at the end of the day. And Rex, thank you so much for coming in, man.
Thank you, buddy. We'll talk to you soon.
Rick Dees will be so proud of what you're doing.
Say what now?
Rick Dees will be so proud of what you're doing.
I'm a big fan
right
of Rick
now.
Dees. So tell the Rickster I said hi next time you talk to Mr. Dees, Mr. Rick Dees.
God bless you. Yes, sir. God bless you. Love one another, and we will see you soon. And as a matter of fact, this week we might have a special guest. Comedian Brad Stein might be stopping by.
Nice.
Well, I know Thursday we have the Rapping Dad, and this is going to be so cool. Yes, at 2:00 Thursday, right here, 2:00 Pacific. And tomorrow morning, We have one of the best Bible teachers that I have ever ran into. His name is Lee W. Brainerd from Soup Keep Ministries. And man, I'm going to pick his brain tomorrow morning. So you guys stay tuned for that. Until then, we will